Welcome back, everybody. I am Tofu Bandit, and I am here for your pre-release guide for the color purple. We will be going over the competitive viability of each individual card in the limited pre-release format. We will be starting off by covering the level twos, as always, our Tamas. We get Maniman. If this Digimon has save in its card text, draw one. As we've seen in the other episodes, there is a plethora of Digimon that have save in their text. So this is a card that many cards can take advantage of. So this is probably the best egg we've seen. Um, Up there with the really hard to pronounce green egg we saw. Next up, we have Impmon X Anybody. Digivolves for 0 on an Impmon, but there's no other Impmon in this format, so that's ignored. On play and when digivolving, you're only going to get the on play because it's a level 3, so you can only digivolve in raising. By trashing one option card from your hand, you may return one Digimon with Evil, Wizard, or Demon Lord in its traits from your trash to your hand, and then it has the inheritable of when attacking once per turn, trash the top two cards of your deck. This is not a card I would be looking to use. Like you could potentially get some minor graveyard recursion, but having this when attacking trash the top two cards of your deck in a limited format, you're much more likely to deck yourself out since you're only running 40 cards, um, and you're much less likely to be able to take advantage of trash-based effects because of the limited card pool. So this is a card I would probably avoid if at all possible. Next up, we have Gumdramon. Digivolves for 0 on any color, so we ignore this cost right here. Plays for 4, it's a 2K. On play by placing one Digimon with save in its card text from under one of your tamers, draw 1. And then has save if it gets deleted. It has Digicross 2 with a save, so you can play it for 2 if you shove a card with save underneath of it. And then when attacking, once per turn, if this Digimon has save in its card text, draw 1. This is a good card. This is a pretty good card. Like you can play it for 2, and then if you have tamers with stuff like this card pulls stuff from tamers by itself, so you don't even need any cards with the general effect. So this is a good card. This is a card you definitely want to see, and it's an uncommon. It gives you a lot of draw power, and and with the amount of save cards that we've seen so far, you're gonna get value out of it. Next up, we have Psychmon. Again, one of those cards with save. On play, you can add a Digimon with save in its card text from under one of your tamers to your hand. So again, where you're saving stuff underneath, you can shove it back. It has save, so if it dies, it gets tucked under. It has Digicross for 2, so you can play it for 2. And then it has the inheritable when attacking once per turn. This Digimon has save in its text, draw 1. So very similar to Gumdramon, actually. Um, just a little less draw power. Uh, but other than that, this card is really good. Again, another card, like if you pull enough save mechanic stuff, you can potentially play these cards for 2 and set your opponent to 1 and start to draw cards like crazy. So definitely some good stuff. Dobermon text contains save, which is important, and then it has the inheritable retaliation. It's a good card. It gives retaliation, which is an insane mechanic for staving off opponents. Like being able to shove this underneath, especially like since these cards have, by placing a card with save in its text from your hand under one of your tamers, draw 1. So you could shove this card underneath with this card, play this card, put this card from your tamer underneath of it. Now you have a 2K with retaliation that can just swing into something. This card can definitely be utilized, and bare minimum it can turn one of your level 5s into just a suicider that can kill a level 6, which is phenomenal. So this is a good card. Purple's definitely looking like a really good color. Next up, we have Arrestadramon. Um, when digivolving, this Digimon has 2 or more Digivolution cards. It gains Rush. It's a level 4, so it should. Um, so you're probably just going to be able, you could probably just, and then it also, it doesn't have Digicross, though, which is weird. It does, okay, so it gains Rush until the end of the turn. So if you, like, hard played something for 2, so, like, if you hard played the Psychmon, tucked a Source, and then digivolved into this for 2, you could swing. Um, if you didn't pass memory over. So that's okay. It's kind of niche, but it's okay. On deletion, it has save, and then you can place one Digimon from your card from your trash with saving its card text under one of your tamers. That's non-restrictive, so it doesn't have to be in its sources. It can just be a Digimon with saving its text. So again, you could shove that Dobermon underneath one of your tamers if you wanted to. Then has the inheritable of when attacking once per turn. If this Digimon has save in its card text, draw a card, so more draw power. This is a good card. Again, if you pull the save support, this is definitely a card that you can look to run, and you'll definitely get value out of it. Next up is Wizardmon X Antibody. There's no other Wizardmon, so ignore that. Trash when Digivolving, trash the top two cards of your deck. If this Digimon has Wizardmon or X Antibody in its Digivolution cards, this Digimon gains blocker until the end of your opponent's turn instead. Okay, so this is just when Digivolving, trash the top two cards of your deck, and then when attacking. Yeah, no, avoid this card. This card's doo doo. You're just gonna deck yourself out to put a level 6 out, like that's or level 4 out, and that's terrible. You would definitely be better off just running Jokermon, the exact same DP, less and the exact same Evo cost, with less of a play cost. So I would rather run Jokermon over this Wizardmon, but the Arrestadramon and the Dobermon definitely look to be the best of the level fours. Now we're on to level fives. We have Ostamon at Digivolves for 5 from Psychmon, or 3 from a yellow, green, or purple. Okay, so that doesn't the first part of that doesn't matter, but the Psychmon for 5, you can digivolve a level 4 into a level 5 is dope. So that can be really really cool. And then when digivolving, you may play one level 4 or lower Digimon card with save in its description from the bottom of your tamers without paying its memory cost. If this Digimon has 4 or more Digivolution cards, this Digimon may digivolve into a Quartzmon in your hand or under your tamers, reducing the Digivolution cost by 3 instead. Um, I mean, if you get that full wombo combo and you get a Quartzmon in your end board, you're Diesel. You don't have anything to worry about. But more than likely, it's cool to digivolve on a Psychmon if you've got it, and if you have Tamers, uh, you can play cards that have save from underneath your Tamer. So a good card, good card. Especially if you pull a lot of saves, then you have the Tamers necessary to support it, and then it has the inheritable when attacking once per turn. If you have save in its text, draw a card. So definitely a good card. Next up, we have Ballmon X Antibody. When digivolving, return one X Antibody from your trash to your hand. You can't do that. Also, there's no other Ballmon in the set, so you can't digivolve for 0. When digivolving, trash the top 3 cards of your deck. If this Digimon has Ballmon or X Antibody in its evolution cards, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon cards instead. And then while this Digimon is Wizard or Demon Lord and its traits, it gets plus 2,000 TP. Doo-doo. Again, this Impmon line is absolute garbage in limited format. In its own specific deck, phenomenal, because you're going to have all of the different stacks to activate all these effects. But in its own, isolated on its own in a limited format, avoid anything that has to do with the Impmon lineup. Next, we have Arrestadramon Superior Mode. Uh, so Digivolves 4 from a red, black, or purple level 4. Okay, that doesn't matter because it always Digivolves for 4 in this format. When Digivolving, place one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon under one of your opponent's other Digimon as its bottom Digivolution source, or under their Tamers. For each Tamer you have in play with a different color, increase the maximum level this effect can choose by 1. That's neat because you can potentially remove a body that could potentially be presenting lethal on the following turn. So you can just shove a level 3 under a level 5, and if it's a vanilla, you don't care. And if you can kill that level 5, you're sitting pretty and you're feeling fine. Um, Odds are you're probably not gonna have too many multicolored tamers, but if you do and you can shove even bigger stuff under there, sweet. End of your turn. Once per turn, if this Digimon has 4 or more Digivolution cards, this Digimon can attack without suspending. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure how that effect's going to work. But if this Digimon can just straight up attack at the end of your turn without suspending, then you could go arrest Digimon, give itself rush, go into a superior mode, pass them 4, and then still get the effect of swinging without suspending and have an unsuspended Digimon and draw 3 cards if you have an ideal stack. So if that works the way I think it does, then this is a really really good card. It has a hefty Digivolution cost, a high play cost, but it also has a high DP threshold. So you're probably going to be passing turn with this, but if you can just attack at the end of the turn anyway, it doesn't matter. So definitely a card to be looking for. It is a super rare, so the odds that you see it is kind of low, but if you do, sweet. The first level 6 we have is a good old Beelzemon X Antibody. You're going to be playing it for 4, Digivolving for 4 because there are no Beelzemon in the set. When Digivolving, if this Digimon has Beelzemon or X Antibody, it does not. So you're not going to get this effect here. And then on deletion, you may play one Digimon with Hitmon. This is awful. Really, again, really, really good in a Beelzemon deck. But in this set, doo-doo. Avoid this card like the plague. Digivolves for 4 for 12k, and it's a super rare. This is probably the worst super rare for a limited format. Next, right up there with all fours, in my opinion. Next, we are on to some Hunter Tamers. We have Tagiru Akashi, which is a memory setter, so that on its own is worth running. When one of your Digimon and then it has the Hunter effect of when one of your Digimon would digivolve into a Digimon with save in its text by suspending this tamer and placing one card from under your tamers under that Digimon as its bottom Digivolution card, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. So this is a card you want to see. This is probably one of the better tamers, and it's a memory setter and interacts with a lot of the cards in the set, especially since the set is non-color restrictive as far as what can digivolve into what, so you're able to run a lot more multicolor, different colored stuff. Next, we have Ryoma Mogami. If there are 2 or less cards under this tamer, you may place one Digimon with save in its card text from your trash under this tamer. When your Digimon would digivolve into a Digimon with save in its card text by suspending this tamer and placing one card from under your tamers to the bottom of this card's Digivolution cards, reduce it. Okay, so it has the same Hunter thing. This is okay. I don't know if I would run this in a restricted or a limited format, but I can definitely see how this will be a good card for outside of that. Overflowing Power plays for 0. While you have a Tamer with Hunter in its traits, you can ignore the color restrictions and then digivolve one of your Digimon into a card with save in its card text under one of your Tamers for its Digivolution cost. This is okay. That's not the best. I mean, if you've got it, like, eh. 7th Full Cluster. One of your Digimon digivolves into a Beelzemon X antibody by returning this card from your trash to the bottom of your deck. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level, and then its main is delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level. This is okay. If you have purple, if you have a crap ton of purple, it's hard removal, which is good. The problem is this level restricted, so it's non-selective. So like if they have a rookie out, you have to pick the rookie. So I would. I would probably avoid using this card, honestly. It does have the seven Great Demon Lords trait, so you can like add it back with some of these cards, like the Impmon. So it's recyclable that way. But again, like I don't know if that I don't know the restriction to the lowest level is, in my opinion, too restrictive to warrant running it in a deck like in a format like this. Uh, so to wrap up, Monimon is probably the best egg we've seen. Impmon you want to avoid. Gumdramon and Psychmon are incredible if you pull a lot of save support. Same with Dobermon and Arrestradramon. Wizardmon you want to avoid like the plague. This is a vanilla that if you need a spot filled, you can run it. Ostamon is really good if you pull a lot of the Psychmons, and even if you don't, it's still a level 5 that interacts with the save mechanic, which there's a ton of anyway. Ballmon you want to avoid like the plague. Arrestradramon superior mode you want to run if you see it, especially if you pull the save support. Beelzemon avoid like the plague. Tagiru run if you get it. Avoid Ryoma, and then these 2 options are meh at best, but should probably be avoided. I am Tofu. This has been your guide to the color purple for the pre-release. Join me next time where I cover the color black. Thank you and have a good day.